Hi everyone, I'm Autumn and I'm going to be showing you my sort of unplanner planner today, which might be... I do also love stickers and keeping a record of my days a little bit, and I'm not really much of a planning planner sort of person, but you know, some things we do like to put in there, what's coming up or just how the day's gone, and I think I've found my happy place. Okay, here I'm just showing you my cover. Very simple fabric and foam cover. This first booklet here, so this is Traveller's Size Journal, and this is a Traveller's calendar, Traveller's Notebook calendar that I bought, and this is sort of how I do it. Use Tombow markers just to colour the days, a bit of stamping and stickers, and that's about as close as I get to planning. So these booklets are a very simple cardstock outside bit to it, I suppose, cover, and then the internal pages are really simple recycled cheap copy paper of jelly prints. So they're just all my crazy prints that either I've done on purpose or I've started and I don't really have a use for them, so they just look like this. It just gives you an idea of you can see I use the 8 by 10, it doesn't quite get to the edges, which is fine. But then they end up a bit like this. And I'm going to be working on this page today. You can see I've already started. I'm going to show you this little corner flap. Oh, let me show you the page I've done so far. So I've got a sticker, I've got a business card that I've put in here with a bit of washi tape, a little tuck at the bottom there, which is from a tea box, herbal tea. A little tuck there with this is a bit of scrap from a scrap paper scrap swap, bit of collaging. Okay, so here is my little tuck, not tuck, sorry, my little journaling area I'm going to make, and I'll just show you very quickly how I do this. So you have a square bit of paper. It needs to be perfectly square. This is already folded, so I hope it doesn't confuse you. But decide which side you want on the outside, if you have two different sides. So this one has a print on this side, and it's white on this side, so I want the print on the outside. So I begin with this white facing me. Make a triangle, score it, turn it around, make another triangle. Okay, and then flip it over and do it rectangle wise. So rectangle, score it, spin it round, rectangle, score it, and then you have all the folds just in the right place so that it folds exactly as you want it to fold. Grab two corners with the inside facing you up, sort of push them together, and you see it just all folds nicely, and one half on each side, and there you go. That's as simple as that. You can of course flip it round if you have a design that you want to show on the outside a little bit, as long as you have it even. Yeah, but I have the flowers come out on the right side anyway that I want it, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And what it is, I'll show you. You can I would suggest to journal in it first, because of the way it folds out. It can be quite awkward, so journal or stick or whatever it is that you want to do in these little flip and flops and flaps that you put into your journal. So yeah, I think it's really awkward to do it afterwards, so I'm just going to speed this up. You can see I've got myself a cup of tea there. Needed a tea break in all that journaling. Got quite a lot of thoughts out there. Okay, so what's coming up there? You see that little pig in a wheelbarrow up on the left-hand corner, a little tin that I found in a charity shop, or what you would call a thrift store in America. And I keep here all my little circles that I make myself, and I just felt like it just needed a little, just tiny little something there in the corner. which one looks good. So I've gone sort of for a little pale lilac one. And this is something, just sticking, gluing things down. It's something that really eases my mind, which is why this sort of style of playing with stationery is really important to me, because it's any anxiety or anything like that really calms me. Or it doesn't even have to be anxiety, it can just be just a scattered and busy mind. So you can see how I folded it there to how I want it showing, and I'll glue the back and pop it there in that corner. It doesn't have to be in a corner, so obviously didn't go anywhere, but it's sort of made to go into a corner quite nicely. And just stick it down. Scotch glue stick is what I use even in my mixed media journals. I'm really just happy with that, rather than the expensive matte mediums. Okay, so now I can't remember, do I let it dry here? There we go, look at that. Now the smart thing to do would have been to check if it was upside down, the writing, or not, but it doesn't really matter. But if it's facing downwards, you can read it better, and I'm just lucky that it is. But yeah, you could check that first, so you have it facing the way you would like to face it. But I just like the flower on the outside more than anything, and yeah, I can read it quite easily. But so it's just such a fun pull out, and as you can see, it would be awkward to write in it, but you could lean it on another journal book or something. But yeah, journal first, I think works better for me, and the little clip will keep it in place and not flipping open. And I don't, just like my mixed media journals, I don't work a page at a time. I just work where the mood takes me, what feels like it's coming next. And now I'm just looking for something just to sit under this little business card, and I've decided to go for one of my collage papers. So in here I have a mix of my own collage papers with bought papers. I have neat cut lines with torn edges. I have bought stickers with well, I wouldn't say made. Yeah, actually, they are made stickers, sort of. Those words. I have my painty pages in the back with bought ephemera. And this is what makes me happy. This is what I've found. I found when I try to make traveller's notebooks with a certain style, too much ephemera, I felt I couldn't see my soul in it. That was serendipitous. I just lifted that when it said soul. And just for me, I totally understand wanting a sort of glue book is how I see them. I'm just finding the one that I really like, and that one was a bit insipid. I wanted a stronger geometric. So what was I saying? So yes, what I think of as glue books, there's two different types of junk journals. There's the mixed media junk journals, and there's the very ephemera heavy junk journals. So my junk journals are the mixed media style. The ephemera style I try because I do love ephemera, and I have plenty of it. But like I said, I couldn't see my soul in it. And then when I try to do a solely mixed media type of planner diary, it just became very, very arty, because I'm, first and foremost an artist, and I can't help it any when arty. But going too arty meant that I lost the diary aspect. Certainly journaling thoughts, but not longer journaling, not records of my days. I mean, in here I love to put everything. I love to put maybe something interesting or funny my daughter said, just something that's happening that day, or here I'm starting to now journal in here, so I'm not sure what I'm journaling about here, I've forgotten now, doing this voiceover, but something that was happening over the weekend. Yes, and I don't do that in my mixed media journals. In there it's more emotional, philosophical, I suppose. In here I put little snippets, I put quotes, I put ideas. Oh, I'm having some chai, but it's just tea bag chai. I normally make my chai from scratch, but I just wanted to get on with my pages. Yes, it's kind of like a catch-all. That's how I think of these little books. Putting the dates. Sometimes I stamp the dates and just scribble it in. And yeah, that's what it is. I think that's the right word. It's not quite an anything goes, but it's a catch-all. It's a catch-all for my days and sort of recording my life, but also with that calendar and things that I'm researching. So here I've flipped over to the pages before. Here I made this little floppy pull-out thing. This is just a page that was extra in one of my travellers' bought notebooks, and I just ripped it out and stuck it in here. And then I've got vintagey bits, so you can see I've got contemporary sort of stickers, and I've just stuck this down with bits of paper and glued it down. Lots of journaling going on. That's just a bit of cardboard there of that flap of a package. So I'm just deciding on a colour here, and I love it. I love mixing my vintage. I had this vintage traveller's notebook that I started, and I just got bored of it. I just got bored of the vintage look, and yeah, I think I've found my place now, and it's basically just a mixture of everything I have, and somehow it works together because it's me, it's mine, and that's what it should be. Well, I don't believe in shoulds, but that's what it ought to be. That's what our planners and journals ought to be. It's just an expression of us. You can see here a card, an old card which I've cut an edge, and it's my little sort of template for tab type corners. Is amazing. Oh, that's what I was saying about about our style. Yeah, it ought to be what we want it to be, and I think social media makes it very difficult because we feel we have to do pretty. We feel we have to have a look. Find your niche, find your look, be consistent. All that is what they tell you. And I think it's too easy to lose ourselves, and more importantly, I think it's lose our joy. And I'm very much into follow the joy recently. And one of the things that makes me joyful, or let's just say, just makes me content and happy, is sticking and gluing and putting things down and just putting things together that it's not about pretty, even though, it may look pretty in the end because I'm not one for ugly, but that's consequential. And yes, and that's what I was going to say. I almost didn't show this book to you because I'm very, very wary of it, of any sort of social media influence coming into it. But I think I'm confident enough in how I want it to work for me and how I want it to look, or not look, even more importantly. So yeah, I almost didn't show all this to you, but I do love looking at people putting their planners together, and I thought, you know what, if I'm doing a planner, I'm not saying that it's different to anyone else, but that is very authentically me. I think that's actually an important thing to show. Oh, there's a phone. I think anyone who is saying that, in the creative community, that's saying, do it your way. I think it's important to say those things. Do it your way. It's not about, I mean, here I am choosing what tabs to put, and I'm not thinking what looks pretty. I'm not thinking, it's very just from my gut, what do I want here? And it may be something that comes from look at this, I've chosen this crazy stripy thing that I would not normally choose and use in any other way but this planner, and that's what I love. This planner gives me this freedom, this it's not even so much freedom because I'm very free in my art, but it's the freedom just to use something that I wouldn't use somewhere else, that I want to look prettier, or that I'm looking for an artistic particular feel or mood or look. Whereas this planner is just anything goes. So, where else would I use a yellow and white striped bit of paper? Nowhere but in here. And so I love that I can do that. And I'm not thinking, does this go with the rest of the page? And as an artist, I don't think it's possible to ever get rid of that side of yourself that is aware of composition or colour or harmony or balance or symmetry. My little tag maker here. It was just fortunate that it fit in the right place. Yeah, but I'm not consciously using that part of my brain. I'm not consciously thinking, does this go? I just follow the joy. Right now, stripy yellow seems fun. So I'm going with that. Now these pieces, I save and use almost everything. I'm not entirely crazy. I will throw absolutely rip tiny pieces away of things, but if I can find a use for something, I will. So that's just the offcut of the tab, and I've just popped it up there because why not? And even the tiny little holes that were punched out, I'm going to use up the top. And I do love little circles. So now, if I didn't have an immediate use, I will very likely throw those little punched holes out. I won't keep something probably that tiny. So I'm not writing in these today, but I've got now these three and that one above the tag. So I've got lots of journal, lots of space on these pages for journaling. Very stress relieving. There we are, done for today. Happy with that. Added my little tags in here. Lots of journaling space on this page now. And my little corner thingy bob. Happy with that in the back there. Yes, nice. This has been a lovely studio session with my unplanner. I'm so glad you guys joined me for this. I'll see you next time.